Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. I've got two topics for you today, and the first topic deals with our children from Jamia University out there protesting. A lot of them are hurt by the batons of Delhi police. A lot of them are in hospital. What exactly is happening in Jamia? And now I am told it is spreading to other universities. What is exactly happening? Let's discuss that, and that's my topic number one. My topic number two is Kuldeep Sengar convicted of rape and kidnapping. Rape seems to be ever increasing in our country. Today, let us discuss why can't we curb rapes? Why can't we curb sexual assault in our country? And most importantly, who are these rapists? Where do these rapists come from? Let's get right into the show. On Friday afternoon, the kids from Jamia University started their protest. Initially, it was peaceful and they were protesting like how ideal protest should happen. Late Friday, Saturday, and through Sunday, things started going wrong. There were violence. There was stone pelting. Properties were burned. Vehicles were burned. Now, the general understanding is that there were some miscreants involved in this. The kids can't do this. Somehow, I too agree to that. The Delhi police started crushing this protest. They went inside the university campus, they went inside the hostels, the ladies' hostels, the classrooms, libraries, started beating up the kids. Brutally beating up the kids. They were crushing this protest. There were two sides of the story. One side of the story said, listen, you know what? When a policeman gets hurt, why should he keep quiet? So he went and crushed the protest. Fair. The other side of the argument is that, listen, what did the police do to ensure that this protest was kept non-violent? Did they take any effort? You see, for all the people who say that, the police, what will they do? They had to beat them up because they had to crush the protest, because they were getting violent, because they were burning public property, because it was dangerous for the society. All that I accept and I appreciate the effort that the police made. But you see, police is not a department. IPS is not a department that only teaches a cop to fire guns and to hit and use their batons. That's not what IPS teaches you. IPS teaches you to negotiate. IPS teaches you to understand crowd behavior and manage mob behavior. A good IPS officer, a good police officer understands that. And that is what one expected out of Delhi police, India's capital. Especially when that police reports to the Central Home Minister. That is what one expected out of Delhi police. I mean, what are we talking about? Who are they hitting? A 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old kids? Now I know a lot of people will ask, what was the 18-year-old and 17-year-old and 16-year-old kids doing there? Why were they protesting? So what? Shall we tell the students? Shall we tell the kids in India, do not protest? Accept whatever is given to them? Or shall we teach them to fight for their rights? Those kids there were protesting. I again tell you, violence is bad. Violence has to be curbed. Violence has to be stopped. But the crushing violence is not the only way to stop violence. And I'm sure a lot of police officers who are listening to this will know what I'm talking about. A police force, a police professional is trained to manage crowd, to manage riots. They know how to manage riots without firing a single bullet or lifting a single rati. A good police officer knows it. This kind of violence that one saw against those kids unacceptable. What those kids did, and if at all it was those kids, and if those kids did it, unacceptable too. Of course they should be reprimanded. But beating them black and blue is not the answer. That's my first point. My second point is, listen, you know what? I can understand some television channels making this a Hindu-Muslim thing. But why are responsible people, straight-thinking people, why are they making this a Muslim-Hindu thing? Listen, it does not concern a Muslim alone. CAA does not concern a Hindu alone. It concerns India. CAA as an act is incorrect, and we believe that it is against the constitution, though a lot of constitution experts may think otherwise. A lot of us do believe it is against the constitution. Citizenship cannot be granted on the basis of religion. We believe that. And it is a problem of India. It is not a Muslim problem. It is not a Hindu problem. It is not a Sikh problem. It is collectively our problem, and that's the way it has to be seen. Why are we all of a sudden seeing it as a Muslim issue? CAA is not just against Muslims. CAA is against the ethos of India. It is against our shared DNA. That is what we need to remember. And that is what hurts an Indian. I hope we don't end up adding fuel to the fire by making this more polarized than what the situation already is. I sincerely hope and pray these protests doesn't take a violent turn like what happened in Jamia. Our students, our kids should understand if they are fighting for the ethos of India, then India stands on two ethos: secularism and non-violence. You can't fight for one by using the other. That is not correct. The rapist MLA from Unnao, Kuldeep Sengar, is now convicted. He is a rapist. He is not just a rapist, he is a kidnapper and a rapist. The court has convicted him. His sentencing will be on the 19th, so we'll have to wait. What kind of sentencing does the court award him? Good. Why can't we Indians curb sexual assault? Why can't we Indians curb rape in India? Why can't we curb it? What is going wrong? The number two question is, where is this rapist? Where do we find him? Let's try and answer these two questions. The first question, as a country, with all these rapes and these rising rapes, year on year, the incident of rapes have just been rising. But as a country, I think we are now getting immune to it. It is not making much of a difference to us as a society because we seem to be doing nothing about it. We go and burn candles after an incident. Maybe a lot of us do some fiery talks and it ends there. As a system, we're doing nothing. I will tell you what I mean, and as usual, I'll use figures. You see, according to the NCRB report, that is the National Crime Record Bureau report, in 2017, which is the last record they have, last statistics they have, last data they have, the total number of rape cases for trial was 1,46,201. But only 5,822 cases resulted in conviction. Our conviction rate, hence, in 2017 was just 32.2%. And in the same year, if you actually compare it to murder, the conviction rate of murder was 43.31%. Of the 100 cases, the court only convicts 32 cases. 68 cases, scot-free. Nobody raped. That's what normally happens. So that's the first thing, low rate of conviction. The second point that I want to talk to you about is, look at our society. I made this statement and I'm making this statement very, very responsibly. We as a society has become senile, immune to rapes. We are okay with it. We talk in our discussions, but we do not act on it. I will tell you why. Let me go through some more figures with you. Let me take you through some figures that were released by Association for Democratic Reforms, ADR. According to ADR, in 2009, there were 38 candidates who stood for Lok Sabha election who had cases related to crime against women against them. 38 candidates. Out of these 38 candidates, we actually got 2 of them to sit in our Lok Sabha. 2 people out of this 38 won. Almost 8%. In 2014, 62 candidates. From 38, mind you, it almost doubled to 62 candidates who had cases against them of rape or crime against women. 62 of them stood for election, and even then, 2 won. We got 2 of these people into the Lok Sabha. You know, in 2019? In 2019, 62 doubled again. 126 people with cases against them stood for election and 19 of them won. Now let's move on to the next. Between MLAs, we just spoke about MPs in Lok Sabha. Now let us look at the combination of MPs and MLAs and let us figure out which party is promoting these MPs and MLAs and putting them in the parliament. Let us figure that out. According to ADR, BJP has a total of 21 MLAs stroke MPs in their assemblies and Lok Sabha who's got cases against them, cases, that is crime against women cases against them. Congress is not very far behind. They have 16. YSR Congress of Andhra Pradesh has got 7. Biju Janata Dal 6. AITC 5. TRS 4. Independent 3. DMK 2. NCP 2. RJD 2. SHS 2. CPIM 1. JMM 1. Prahar Janashakti Party 1. Rashtriya Samaj Paksha 1. SP 1. TDP 1. So this is how our parties, this is how our political system is actually promoting these people who have committed crime against women. So does that endorse what I said first? I repeat, I say that as a society, we are immune to rapes in our society. We are immune to that. We don't really care. We only talk. We don't really care. And that's the figures that I spoke to you about. Okay, let's go to the last part of my editorial today. Who is this rapist? You see, this rapist doesn't stay in a ghetto. He doesn't stay in a typical environment. He doesn't stay in a typical place. Rapists could pop up from anywhere. It could pop up from your society. It could pop up from your office. He could pop up from your club. He could pop up anywhere. Because the environment that creates a rapist exists everywhere in this country. A study by a company called People about this particular subject threw up a lot of interesting information. What they realized is normally a rapist is not born, he is created. And he is created well within the society. And again, the reason that he is created is because we are immune to rape. What really happens is a rapist starts with eve teasing. He teases a girl, he passes a comment on her, or he stares at her. More often than not, he stares at a girl. Normally, the girl doesn't react. She's too scared to react. She doesn't know who will help her. She doesn't react. Society doesn't take it seriously. And the girl walks out and he feels, "Arey, kuch nahi hua yaar, nothing happened." He gets bolder. That moves to verbal teasing. He starts commenting on her. Nothing happens. Our law enforcement and all doesn't intervene. They don't even take such complaints seriously. And that too has been proven in the research. So the fact is, this man has graduated from eve teasing to verbal teasing. From verbal teasing, he goes to physical contact. He goes and bumps into the girl. He tries to fondle her. You know what happens? Nothing happens. He gets away with that. So in this guy's mind, he started eve teasing, nothing happened. He started verbally teasing her, nothing happened. He fondled her, nothing happened. So in his mind, teasing a woman, nothing happens. The next thing he possibly does is rape a woman. And that's how a guy who starts eve teasing in one end ends up raping somebody. And the society then talks about, oh, the rape, what, candles, march, protest, all that happens at this end, where this is not the end one should talk about. This is the end where it started. This is the result of this. Rape is a result of eve teasing. Had we nipped this in the bud, that rape would never have happened. The entire society, everybody is responsible for this. Because everybody, each of us in our society could have stopped this from happening. If that eve teasing could have been stopped, this would have never happened in our country. But unfortunately, we never stop it and we allow it to go, and then when it culminates into a rape, that is when we take notice of it. Again, for the nth time in my editorial, I am saying we are immune to rape. Our society is immune to rape. We don't care. And that's the unfortunate story. Till we meet next time. Namaskar.